Well, good afternoon, everybody. How are y'all on this cold day? I'm loving it. It didn't get as cold as they thought, I don't guess. I don't know. There's a little bit of crunchy ice out there, but nothing too much to speak of, which I'm glad. That keeps the roads and stuff a little safer. Anyway, I still think it's a beautiful day. It's pretty enough and cold enough. We're going to make some chicken and dumplings today. I'm going to show y'all how to make these dumplings. And these dumplings go in anything. That's what makes it so nice, is they go in anything. Let me move this up a minute. That's where I was talking to you about. They go in the cobblers and pot pies, and of course like these chicken and dumplings and stuff and everything. But anyway, they're a basic dumpling that works for everything like that, and they are delicious if you like the good old doughy dumplings. It's not like the big fluffy things that people use making with biscuits and stuff and everything, which I don't have anything against that, but I like these. And more than anything, do you know how to make them? So if you don't, we're fixing to do it, and I'm going to show you how to do it with chicken and dumplings, okay? Let's get started on this thing. I boiled my chicken this morning, so that I'm trying to cut down on the time and stuff, but I've got my chicken here, and I've been deboning my chicken. I got it out of there and let it cool. So, I've got my meats separated. I have my white meat over here and my dark meats over here. And I'm going to show y'all a little bit of what I do on that. Most everybody knows how to pick a chicken, right? But anyway, you want to be sure and get all the good meat and stuff out of there, and pull all of that old skin and bone and gristle out of there, so somebody don't bite down on a bone in their bowl of dumplings. And I don't know about y'all, but we like dark meat. I end up saving a lot of that white meat for making chicken salad. It makes some good chicken salad, but I know some people like the white meat in there. And if I'm going along there and don't think I got enough meat just out of the dark meat, I'll add me some white meat in there just to have some extra meat and stuff. So we're going to get this here chicken picked, get him ready. I got my pot over there simmering, all the good old pot liquor that come out of this chicken here, and I boiled him real slow, and that way the meat just comes off the bone real easy, and it's good and tender and stuff when you bite into it in your bowl. So there we are. I've got all my meat now picked. I picked the dickens out of this thing too. I try to find it all, but you got to be careful with it. So see, there's how much meat I ended up with on it. So that's a pretty good bit of dark meat there, but I'll probably put a couple of these big old chunks. That white meat comes out of there in big chunks. It's nice. But anyway, I'll probably add some of that to it, just for make sure I have a little bit of extra meat there. But we're gonna get that. We've got that out of the way. Let me wash my hands. Okay, I'm going to set this out of the way. This is all my scraps that came from it. And I like to give some of it to my puppy dog, but some of it you got to pick out of there. You know how people are about giving them chicken bones and stuff, but she likes some of them goodies in there, and I'll give them to her. I'll set this over here out of the way for now. That's picked and ready. And I have my pot liquor, like I said, simmering over here. So I'm going to show that to you and what I'm going to do there. Show you how much liquid I have. This is one of them big old 6-quart pots, right? The basic 6-quart pots. See, and I got it simmering. And that's all that liquid. I put that water, I almost covered that chicken in it, right? So let that boil down and stuff. And then if you think you need a little more juice in there, add you some water to it, because you're going to add some salt and pepper in there, and this is one of my favorite things in the world, y'all. I love it. better than bouillon. Well, that just because it's got some other flavors in there, you know. There's some other flavorings in here just besides the chicken fat, but it's some good stuff. And now if you put that in there for a little extra flavor, be careful because it is salty. So you be careful when you go to adding your salt in there, or you'll stump your toe on it. So I'm gonna put a little bit in there. I'm gonna show you how much I'm gonna put in there. I got me a soda teaspoon here. I'm gonna get out. Can you see? Look at that. I've got about that much now, and this is a regular teaspoon size spoon. Dig it a little more. There we go. We want a big heaping teaspoon of it, and that's what I'm gonna put in that big pot over there to add flavor and salt. So I'll taste of it before I add salt, but I'm gonna put me some pepper in there too. Just shake a little black pepper in there. Of course, that's to your likings. We like a good bit of pepper flavor in there. Now I'm gonna stir that up and let it be just sitting here simmering. I'm gonna put my lid on it because I don't want all my pot liquor to sit there and boil away, you know. So, but now we've got I'm gonna turn it down here where you can see what I'm doing. We've got our bowl here. Isn't that coffee good? Today's a great day for it. I love coffee, and this is my favorite coffee cup of my mother-in-law's. Isn't that pretty? Okay, there's a piece of chicken. All right, we're gonna start off just like with the biscuit bowl, but I'm gonna open a new bag. All-purpose flour. This is all-purpose flour, not self-rising, because we want these buddies to be sinkers, right? We don't want them to puff up and float. We want them to sink. Be good and doughy. And it's not about measuring with this. You're going to fill up your bowl. That's what this big old bowl's for. I love this bowl. Look at it. One of them old-timey, and it's that butter yellow color. Isn't that pretty? That'll work perfect for me making my dumplings in. All right. We're going to just take it and dump us a big old bowl out in here. Dump you a big old pile in it. Okay. Now, like we did the other day, we're going to make us a well in there. Take your hand and put it all, spin it kind of out in there. Make you a well. But like I say, don't go all the way to the bottom of the bowl. You don't want to see the bottom of your bowl. Just waller you out a hole in there. All right. And here we go with the shortening. Like I said, you know, just regular old shortening. You're going to reach in there and grab you a handful of it. About the size of a big old chicken egg. We're going to do 2 of them. 2 blobs of it. 1. I'm going to make them a little bit like extra large eggs because I want some extra dumplings. So anyway, there's the two blobs of shortening, okay? Hold on a second, let me wipe that off. All right, let me go over here and get my buttermilk. Shake it up real good. And I like the whole buttermilk. It's just so much more creamier and stuff, but you can get the light if you want to. It doesn't make any difference. So all we're going to do now is pour this buttermilk in there and fill that hole up just like that. That's it. Just fill it up. Now, I like to add a little bit of salt. And I'm going to do this. I'm just going to shake it in my hand because it really don't matter. You don't want a whole lot, so we're going to, you know, that looks like a big heaping teaspoon to me. And we just pour it in that buttermilk right there. And here we go. We start the process. I'm going to start whipping it in there and squeezing that shortening. Getting that shortening mixed in there. Can you see what I'm doing? We're going to get the shortening kind of all mixed up with that buttermilk. There'll be some little blobs in there. Ain't no thing. Don't worry about any kind of blobs. They'll just break down as you go along. So the more you squeeze on it, the more it's going to start picking that flour. And then I start doing it kind of like this, kind of swirling it. And you'll see that flour start picking up in there. You'll see it. You don't try to do anything. Don't try to add flour to it with your hands. It'll stick to that buttermilk just fine. And if it does that right there, just throw it across there a little bit. See, I ain't gonna try to mess up my area where my bowl, where my flour is in my bowl edge there. So we're gonna keep doing this. Gotta get it around in there. It don't take that long. You gotta be patient, but it really don't take that long. You'll be surprised. And everybody's wanting measurements, but see, that's the great thing about this is you don't have to have measurements, because you know the flour that is going to be left in your bowl that you don't even use. I mean, you just all you're doing is pouring your buttermilk in there and adding them 2 clumps of flour to it and a big old pinch of salt, like, or whatever, and you're just good to go. You can't go wrong with it. This right here seems to be the problem everybody has mastering, I'm gonna call it, but it really ain't that hard. Once you figure out that that flour is, you know, getting to that dough, it'll, like, you can go around there maybe and grab some flour, make it kind of splash up on that, and grab some more flour, trying to make it come on. But as long as you don't get out of your well there. See, it's starting to thicken now. We're fixing to start having something happening pretty quick now. And see, this dough, remember the other day I was telling you about the fried pies and stuff, which I already did that video, but I'm gonna wait and show that to y'all next week, this coming week. But since I was making the chicken and dumplings today, I figured I'd go ahead and do the video and show it to y'all. I cooked so many things, it was like I made that chocolate cake. I should have videoed it, I guess, because that thing turned out delicious. If you are a chocolate lover, you really will like that cake. And it was so simple. Alright, look at it. See, it's starting to get thick now. Getting thick. Get me some flour over there on that edge where I kind of got it off the bowl. Alright. See, I'm just kind of stirring it with my hands in the middle, and it's picking it up on the outside. It's getting thicker and thicker now. Alright. I'm fixing to be able to get it out of this bowl, and we'll put some flour on that board, and we'll add some more flour to it till we get it to the thickness we want. We can work our flour in on that. Okay. I know you can't see the bag, but anyway, I'm just gonna, is that working? Yeah. Okay. My friend gave me this light stand for the phone, and I sure do like it. Of course, I'm figuring out how to make it work right where y'all can see everything, but I do believe it's better than what I was messing with the other day. So look, you just take it and kind of get it off your hands on there. I'm going to get it up out of here now. Get it on the board. See, it's just to get it where I can handle it. And you see what I'm doing? Okay, I'm going to pick it up out of there. Alright. It's on my board now. I'm going to get the phone a little bit closer to it here now that I've got it on the board. Let me get this flour where I can. Alright, let me see if I can scoot it over now a little bit closer. You can see what I'm doing. I think that'll work. Okay, now we just start working some flour in it. That broth smells so good, y'all. Got all that flavoring in it. See, I just reach in here and I'm gonna get me a little flour. Add to it. Get that flour in there. We want to work it where it's really stiff. It's not fluffy. It's going to be fluffy like the biscuit dough. But you just have to keep pushing that flour in there. Flip it over from the edge like, and push on it. Flip it over. Keep flipping it over from the edges. And I'm just pushing it down in there. Working it like that. It's getting there. It's getting stiff now, see? And that's what we want. Get it worked in there, and we don't want it, when we get ready to roll it out, we don't want it sticking to our board. If it does stick when you go to rolling it out, it needs more flour in it for sure. And you'll know when you go to try to handling it and it gets all sticky and you try to roll it out or pick up your dumpling or something and it's sticking to the board, just throw that dumpling back in the ball and put it back together and add you some flour. That's all you got to do. There's no mistake in it. Like I said, this is so easy to do. And it's all-purpose dumplings. It's dumplings, period. And they're basic. It's a basic dumpling. Whatever flavor of pot liquor stuff you're throwing them in, whether it be pot pie, chicken and dumplings, cobblers or whatever, that dough, when you put it in there and it starts boiling and stuff with it, that dough is going to absorb that flavor of whatever you're cooking. So that's why you want your pot liquor to be all seasoned up really good and, you know, a little bit stronger than, you know, like say in a pot of soup or something or whatever, because these dumplings will, you know, they kind of tone it down. They'll tone it down and stuff. I want it a little bit stiffer than this. It's stiff, but not quite how I want it. Let me work it a minute. See, I'm just folding it over. Fold it over. This just might be ready. You see, that's a big old ball of dough. Probably going to have more dumplings than I can get in that pot, but that's all right. I'll save them. I can save them and I can make any other thing I want with those dumplings, right? Or I can make fried pies. This is what you do to make your fried pies. It works beautifully. And like when you make a pot pie with it, like a chicken pot pie or a ham pot pie or something like that, this works for your top. You're going to do dumplings and stuff in your pot pie, and then you dump that in your pan, and what dough you have right here left, you'll roll out and then roll it across the top of that big dish and bake it, and that's your top on it. So it's really wonderful. It works good. All right. We got us some dough here. I'm just going to break me a piece off about like that, because I want to be able to roll it out as big as I can on this board. Get me some flour. Get it all floured up. Get that done. And we're ready to roll. Give me some flour on my... This is one of my favorite, it is my favorite rolling pin from one of the most sweetheart ladies ever that was in my life. And I love this rolling pin. I have other ones, but this is the one for me. This booger works perfect. I'm going to roll them out thin. You want them thin. See, it don't feel like it's sticking on there, so we know it's stiff. I want them thin. I'm going to roll some flour off in my floor. I always got a mess in the floor, but that's all right. I can clean that up. Alright, here we are. We got dumplings fixing to be cut out. And I'm going to use my pizza wheel instead of a knife. Remember, my pizza wheel is my buddy on this. I just like it because they don't have to be all perfect size, or not for me they don't. They don't have to be all perfect size and everything. I just want them cut and ready to drop. I just do it like this. Can you see what I'm doing? I hope so. Go along here like this. Now I'm just gonna come across it. See there, that's already a lot of dumplings. But I'm gonna go over here and taste my pot liquor and see if it's got enough seasonings and stuff in it that I want. I think you can see me a little bit. I'll turn it up like that. Let me get over here and see. It's been simmering and stuff, but now when we get ready to drop the dumplings, we're gonna turn it up to a full rolling boil. You want it at a full rolling boil when you get ready to drop those dumplings in there. Let me get something here and I can taste of this. It does smell good. Stir it up real good. And always kind of double check in the bottom of the pot, make sure I didn't miss any, because I use this to pick my chicken up out of there, and it's got the small holes in it, and it's good about getting the little pieces of bone and stuff that are sunk in the bottom of it. If you got something like that, use that to get your chicken out of there when you get ready to let it cool. You put it in your pan and just let it cool, and then that's when you can pick all your meat and bones and stuff and everything. But anyway, let me test this. Okay, remember I put 1 teaspoon of that bouillon in there. I want more. This jar's about empty. I'm fixing to scrape it out, and I'm gonna put it in there. So we ain't even gonna count that, okay? We don't count that. I got me another jar in here, and we're gonna put 2 big teaspoons in there, because it's a big pot. Ooh, if I can get this open. There it is. Thought I was gonna have to go over there and get Buzz to open it for me. Alright, here I did it, another big heaping teaspoon. I'm gonna get that in there. And chances are, I'm not going to have to put any salt in it after I did that. But it's got enough pepper in it, I believe. I'll put another shake just for grins. Remember, you know my motto about more is better, right? So, we'll get that going. I'm fixing to crank it up and get it boiling. Get that stirred in there, and then I can taste of it. You want your pot liquor ready before you drop your dumplings in there. You really don't want to try to add stuff to it after you've got your dumplings cooking. I believe this is going to be the cat's meow right here. It's looking good. I'm going to take some up and put it in this bowl and see if y'all can see the... I'll tell you what, I'll just show you in the pot. Watch this. I want y'all to see how it looks. Look at that. Can you see see all that good flavor floating on the top and stuff? That's from the chicken. That's chicken fat and stuff in there that makes everything... That is where so much of your flavor comes from, is out of that chicken skin and stuff. You know, I know you pull it off afterwards, but while it's boiling, that gives you so much flavor in your pot liquor. I'm gonna stir it up here. Let me see. Get another quick taste. Done deal. We're ready. So, I'm fixing to get me a spatula here. All right, let me put it back down on here. And I'm just going to get under them. I've got let me get my little cutting board here. I'm going to show you what I do just to save time on it. But I just get them and pile them up on here. And see how they're coming right off of there? We know that dough is not sticky. We know we got a lot of flour in it and made it stiff, which is what you want, because it don't take them but just a couple of minutes. Boy, somebody'd like that dumpling, wouldn't they? Where I didn't cut it. We'll pull it apart. There we go. Alright. Get them on here. Last batch. I'm fixing to take them over here and drop them in that. I'll show you. Okay, my pot liquor is boiling, so I'm just going to drop them in there. Kind of sprinkle them around. Be careful because it'll splash on you. And that stuff is hot tamale. It'll burn you. But here we go. They're already cooking in it. Okay, I got half of them in there more or less, so I'm going to kind of stir it a little bit just so they don't stick together. We don't want them to stick together. And in that boiling water, they'll cook so fast that, you know, in general they won't stick together. But if you got a bunch of them going, that's why you need to drop you a few and then stir them in. But it works good that way. Alright, we're fixing to have these. You get them going. See, it's already stopped it from boiling because that dough was cool. But it'll kick back up. But I got them stirred up now. They're not going to stick together. And we're fixing to roll out another pile of them. Here we go. You see how I show 27 minutes. I don't know. It takes time. Like I said, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Well, here we go. We're gonna roll them out. That was a lot of dumplings already I put in there. This whole cutting board size. Alright, we got it thin. Here we go. Time to cut away. Some people use a knife, some people use a spatula. I just happened to see an older gentleman one time on one of them videos that makes chicken and dumplings, and I've made them his way and they are delicious. And he's the one brought it to my attention about using the pizza wheel. I don't know why I never thought about it, but it makes it fast and easy. Alright. Got those rolled out just like that, see? Here we go. Dropping them in. Man, they look so pretty. I'm going to bring it over here and show y'all when I get them all filled up in there. But you can see what I'm doing as far as me dropping them in there, stirring a little bit gently. You know, stir kind of gently. You don't want to tear them up. Because once they get cooked, you ain't going to tear them up. They're pretty solid, which is what we want. That's what that thick dough makes them be. You make it thick and heavy like that and then roll it out thin. Shoot. You know what? I think one more thing of these. For sure, one more. We may be able to get a second one in there. I don't know. tell you what I'm going to do to save time. I'm going to stop this, and I'll come back with the second video, and we'll follow up on it. Be right back.